schizophrenia or hearing voices or something. So these are the two claims of the atheists. Delusion and lying. Then the claim of the Christians is that this wasn't an angel, this was in fact Satan, an angel imitating an angel of light, tricking Muhammad into believing he's a messenger of God. The problem the Christian has at this point, he has to accept that Muhammad was a man of integrity. He's got to accept that Muhammad thought he was speaking to an angel, when in fact he was a Satan. So you can't blame Muhammad. Muhammad is a victim of deception here. And he thought he was delivering a message. So he should be seen as Christians as a man who's a victim. Yeah? Not as a man who's doing Satan's work, as if like he knows. Because if he knows, then he's lying. And then that throws the deception out of the way. So he's either deluded, he's either deceived, yeah? He's either lying, or he's telling the truth. Now, when you do the investigation into this, you'll realize he wasn't crazy. Now, I don't really want to go into the depth of it here, because I don't like to do all the homework in one place. Because I know how people are. I could give you all the information, it'll go over your head, you'll have another conversation, and when you go home, you'll forget about it. But luckily, on my channel, HAMZA DEN.
HAMZA DEN was
yes,
that?
Yeah. We've done 3 live streams. We did one live stream, was the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam crazy? Yeah, and we brought a psychiatrist on from Qatar, Dr. Abu Isa, and we went through all the different kind of illnesses that could result in this. And we challenged anyone to come on to challenge this claim. Claim done. Then we did another stream, was the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam lying? And then we brought somebody on to do a historical presentation on the Prophet Muhammad and his life and all of these things, and if he was lying, what you should see, the evidence and such. And again, the conclusion was,
I will say this, just on the lying front. Just because somebody has told a lie doesn't mean they lie all the time.
But he would have to lie for 23 years.
Yeah, all I'm saying is that there's some things he said could be true and some things might be a lie. How do you verify which of his claims are true and which of them are a lie?
Well, that's what you test the character of the man, isn't it? Was he known to lie? Like, for example, Joseph Smith.
I didn't live back then.
Like, for example, Joseph Smith was used, yeah? You know, Joseph Smith. He was a known con man. He was a known fraudster.
I mean, it's clearly clearly rubbish.
You know, do you know what I find amazing about the Joseph Smith story? That he was the only one who could read the tablets.
And the tablets have disappeared now.
No, before that, but listen to that, before that. If he's the only one who could read the tablets, how did anybody know he could read them?
They couldn't.
If he's the only one who could read them, he could say, yeah, I can read them, mate.
Are
you sure? Yeah.
The tablets no longer exist, they disappeared.
But before that, can't you read them, mate? No. Can you read them, mate? No. Well, I can read them. And he can try, what? And what's he doing? Translating the King James Bible. The Book of Mormon is like an interpretation of the King James Bible.
With a lot of additional stuff that...
But the King James Bible's not even reliable. So why are you interpreting a book that's not reliable? Yeah, the King James Bible contains known forgeries. Why are you interpreting this book? So the whole Joseph Smith thing is just nonsense. Okay. So you look at the claim of him being a liar. And I encourage you to watch that stream. I encourage everyone here who's watching on YouTube and whatever, go to my channel, HAMZA DEN. We did 3. Was he lying, was he crazy, or was he deceived by Satan? And we did 3 big presentations. And after watching these, then respond. Yeah? Mm-hmm. Because if he's not lying, crazy, or deceived, then he must be telling the truth. And if he's telling the truth, then he's a messenger of God. And if he's a messenger of God, he's come with a message from God to connect you to that creator that you're stupid not to connect to. It's as simple as that, Peter.
I mean, I can accept what you're saying there, that either A or B or C, if not, therefore D.
Khalas. It's as simple as that. And then if you don't believe he's telling the truth, then you have to go definitive on why he was a liar, or why he was crazy, or why he was deceived. And remember, this was not just one claim. This was a claim of 23 years. Continuous. Mm-hmm. Now, a person with mental health who's not treated, their mental health deteriorates. A person with schizophrenia is a social recluse and is paranoid. Yeah? So we should see the effects of these things. Yeah? The question about the liar, did he have the motivation to lie? And did he have the capacity to fulfill the lie? So first of all, did he have reason to lie? Did he benefit from the lie?
I would counter to that not everyone needs a reason to lie. Unfortunately, I've certainly known people in my life who you would call compulsive liars. They lie for the sake of it, make up stories. I've met people like this.
They lie for a reason.
Yeah, and maybe it's attention seeking, something like that. But I mean, I can't know their motive. All I know is I can't believe a word that comes out of their mouth.
Yeah, most people lie for a reason. Most people lie for a reason. They either lie for gain or they lie for attention. Yeah, this is what we say. But if you look at the claim that he lied for fame or for whatever, look at his life. And ask yourself, really? Yeah? And if he did it for... see, I have 2 points. Not just whether or not he had the motivation to do it. He may be altruistic. He may have seen a society and thought, you know what? I need to change these guys. I need to stop them doing the things they're doing. You wouldn't really go and tell them to stop doing the thing that holds the whole society together. Stop worshipping idols. He could easily have gone down and said, you know what? You can keep... But remember, Allah's the main God. You know what I'm saying? If you wanted to, like... If you want to lie to the people, like our mate Tommy Robinson, yeah? He's created this event on June the 1st, isn't it?
I don't know.
So he's doing this big march.
I don't know who he is. I don't know a lot about.
But what he's done very cleverly, he's roped everyone in. If you're against immigration, no problem. If you're against transgender toilets and stuff like this in your school, so he's basically spoke to everybody who's got a little piece of the pie, bring them all together to act like he's got this movement. Do you understand? So you do little bits and pieces. Okay. So this is an example of that. Anyway, so we look at the motivation. And then we look at the capacity. Did this man have the ability to do what he's accused of? Could this man have invented the Quran? Could he have made this up? You can look at what the people of the time said when he was reciting it. Did they say it was made up? Did they say it was a liar? What did they say? They sent their best poets to listen to the Quran being recited. What was their response when they came back? When they said, where's he getting these words from? They said, it's sorcery. Why did Arab poets... some of the greatest poets that have ever existed in Arabic, when they heard the Quran, their only conclusion was, it's supernatural. It's something, we don't know where he's getting this from. Why would that be their reaction? To some random man making this stuff up?
I mean, to be fair, at that time, everyone thought everything was supernatural. This was a time in history when, you know, if we go back even 500 years, everything was supernatural in one way or the other. It was either of God or it was witchcraft and of the devil. That was the kind of world that it was back then.
Yeah, potentially. But when they said to him, because why send poets then? Why not send witches or soothsayers or something? They sent poets. Why? Because they knew this man, Muhammad. He grew up with them. From the Bani Hashim. He was an orphan boy in their society. They watched him grow. This guy's illiterate. Now where's he getting all this information from? And it's beautiful. It's like poetry. It's sweet to the ear. Where's he getting this from? You're the poets. Go listen to him. Where's he getting this info from? And they came back, and they didn't come, oh, he must have read some beautiful Arabic scripture somewhere. They said, this is sorcery. So this is an indication that there's something special about the words. Maybe you need to be an Arab to really understand what was special about those words.
Yeah, I mean, poetry often doesn't translate. I mean, the words might, the poetry often doesn't.
Style, meaning, grammar.
Yeah.
You need to get style. If you get style, meaning, and grammar in a sentence, it's pretty impossible. Because you get style, meaning, grammar's gone.
Yeah.
Grammar, meaning, no style.
I'm studying to try and learn Polish, so I sort of understand.
Yeah. So you lose something. But the Quran contains style, meaning, and grammar throughout, A to Z, beginning to end. And when you read the Quran, virtually every single chapter is the same message. History of man, guidance for man, warning of what's to come. Throughout it. Warning of the past, guidance for the present, get ready for the future. And I make this claim to anyone now. Islam, and nothing but Islam, can give you peace of mind, body, and soul. No other way can. Christianity can't do it. Judaism can't do it.
Christians make the same claim.
They can't make the claim. Christians' minds have to remain in a box. Christians can't question too hard what they're supposed to believe as Christians because it crumbles in their hands.
And if Muslims question too hard what they're supposed to believe as Muslims, and
we're told to question it.
Leaving the faith,
we're told to question
they're
it.
going to be made to suffer for it.
One second. We're told to question it. We're told to question these things. Allah says in the Quran throughout it. Question it. Oh, men of understanding.
You're allowed to question maybe, but you're not allowed to conclude that Islam is wrong.
Why not?
Well, you know what happens to people who leave Islam.
What happens?
Well, they're outcasts.
What do you mean?
They become an outcast. I can't remember what the word is for somebody
What does
who
the
leaves
Quran
Islam.
say? What does
I know
the
they're committing shirk
what
very
does
often.
What does the Quran say about those who leave Islam?
Well, I know...
Have you read the Quran?
No.
So how are you going to tell me what the Quran says?
However, I do know that, having watched a video here with Ali Dawah himself speaking to a former Muslim who became a Christian, that Ali Dawah said that that man deserved capital punishment. I've seen his own words on video saying that.
Where's Ali? Ali! Oh, I'll leave him. So the point is this. The Quran says those who leave Islam and come back, leave Islam and come back, leave Islam and come back. Yeah? Allah doesn't say kill them in the Quran. Yeah? Those who leave, come back, leave, come back, leave, come back.
Is that someone messing around with you, Hamza?
Yeah.
So you said you called me.
Yeah, I'm calling you. Yeah? And there's a beautiful verse in the Quran, La ikraha fid din. There's no compulsion in religion. Yeah?
If there's no compulsion, then why in the Sharia does it say that, you know, Christians and Jews, if they refuse to convert, should be forced to pay jizya? Is it?
What's
I think
jizya?
That's the word.
What's
the tax?
Okay. And what does jizya enable? Sorry, who pays jizya, and what is it for?
Christians and Christians and Jews who refuse to convert, people who refuse to convert to Islam.
Who pays it?
Them.
Who?
The Christians or the Jews.
Which
who refuse
Christians?
To convert.
Which Christians?
I mean, I don't know. I just know that I've heard.
Don't speak from ignorance. It's going to be Peter. The ones who pay jizya is who? Men of military age. And what does that jizya do? Exempts them from the military. Yeah?
That's what it's for.
Women don't pay jizya. Old people don't pay jizya. Children don't pay jizya. Men of military age pay jizya.
Okay.
Yeah? And in return, the Muslims protect them. Who do you think saved the Jews from slaughter from the Christians in history?
Oh, back in the Crusades, the time of the Crusades.
No.
are we
Not
talking?
the Crusades, no.
You tell me.
The Muslims. Okay, there's a beautiful article I want you to go and read. Yeah, and it's written in the Jewish Chronicle by David Wasserstein, who's a Jewish professor of history. And he writes a title in the Jewish Chronicle, How Islam Saved Jewry. Without the Muslim protection, the Christians would have wiped out the Jews of Europe. But in Andalusia, for 800 years, they were protected by the Islamic State. For 800 years, they flourished. They researched. They didn't have to become Muslims. They were Jews. And Jews could come and live there and protected by the state. Yeah, they paid jizya, but they were protected. What happened when the protection was over, when the Reconquista happened with Isabella and Ferdinand, and the Catholic armies got so strong, they pushed the Muslims out of the Europe, yeah? What happened to the Jews? Huh?
I don't know.
Forced to convert. What did the Jews do? Said to the Muslims, let us come with you. And that is why Morocco was one of the greatest enclave of Jews before the state of Israel. Yeah, where they were protected. Because the Caliphate couldn't protect them in Spain anymore. So the Jews came with them. Now, does this sound like a people living in an Islamic state who are subjects of oppression, and dhimmis and this?
It does sound a bit like a mafia protection racket.
A mafia protection racket.
Yeah, you must pay us for your protection.
Okay, you pay us, you're exempt from the army. Muslim men had to go to the army. Non-Muslim men don't. Okay. Did they pay zakat, these Christians? Did the Muslims pay zakat?
Do you know what zakat is? It's what we are.
It's what we have to pay. 2.5% of our wealth.
And my wife.
2.5% of your wealth.
Yeah.
Zakat, isn't that like a charity?
It's not a charity.
Oh, that's a different thing.
Charity is sadaqah.
Yeah, I can't remember the word.
Zakat is the filth of your wealth. Zakat is the money that doesn't belong to you. 2.5% of your wealth has to be given away. Yeah? And it either goes to the Beit al-Zakat, and then they will feed the poor people with it.
Yeah.
Yeah? Or it will be used to do other things. But the point is this. The non-Muslims didn't pay this. Yeah. I'm going to tell you a fun fact now. Have you heard of Captain Jack Sparrow?
I've heard the name.
Do you know the real story of Captain Jack Sparrow and who he was? His real name was Jack Birdie. Well, that was his nickname. Yusuf Riaz was his Muslim name. Yeah? Captain Jack Sparrow, you know, yeah, right?
He was a Muslim.
He wasn't. He was originally he was an English buccaneer, privateer. Yeah? Eventually, he became Muslim. His Sicilian wife became a Muslim. Their whole pirate ship, buccaneers, you know, they call them buccaneers, they're pirates,
Yeah.
became Muslim. And they were ferrying Jews from Spain to Morocco. This is a history you'll never know. There should be a movie about this, but you'll never hear it because they've rubbished the name now.
Whitewash history.
They whitewash history. Captain Jack Sparrow, you just think, that's what you think now. But you know, I hear Captain Jack Sparrow, I think of Jack Birdie. I think of Yusuf Riaz. I think of his Sicilian wife on a pirate ship with no rum drinking and all of this stuff.
Yeah.
And I question this, subhanAllah. Why didn't I learn this in school, man? This is information. But the point I'm trying to make to you is this, talking about the Islamic State and jizya and all of these things. 800 years the Jews flourished. Without Islam protecting them, the Christians would have wiped them out. Because the Christians were so anti-Semitic, it was unreal.
Why were they?
Because they believed that they killed Jesus and all of this. If you see the words of the church fathers, they should burn all the synagogues down, all of these things. Yeah, they wanted to distance Christianity away from the Jews. Because when you look at the teachings of Jesus, it was for the Jews. He didn't come to abolish any laws, all of these things. They needed Paul's version of Christianity to be the predominant thing. So they needed to detach it from anything Jewish. So they put the blame on the Jews for crucifying him. But the irony is this, they should be thanking the Jews for crucifying him.
Exactly. And imagine
Because if he didn't get crucified, they wouldn't have been saved.
how much tax do you pay?
Tax.
Do you know how much tax?
Far too much.
Exactly. Exactly. So imagine. Let me tell you something. In Islamic lands, you would